Hey, what's up everyone, it's Patrick, and welcome to my guide to the quest Succession on RuneScape 3. On to right now is everything you need to prepare yourself for this quest, which isn't much and should all be fairly self-explanatory, so feel free to pause if you need it, as I'm going to get into the quest now. This video is brought to you by the awesome members of my Patreon. If you want access to some exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Enjoy the video, everyone. To start the quest, go to the east side of the Faldor Castle, climb up the ladder, go up the stairs to the west to get to the throne room. Speak to Adrasteia, accept the quest, then it's up to you whether you want to switch on the audio or not. You can skip this cutscene in-game if you want to skip it in the video as well. I put up a time on screen, but I'm leaving it in here for those that want to watch it or rewatch it. Continue the conversation after cutscene and select options 1 and 4. Go to the door to Senntisten, north of the archaeology camp. Enter the ancient door and select option 1, yes. There's a large footprint a few steps away from you that's like glowing. Click on that to discover it. Go up the stairs to the upper level and you can fix your camera angle once you're up there. There are 3 more objects similar to the footprint that you can discover around this big room. I listed them on screen. You can very easily find them by just looking at your minimap, as they do show up as red dots. There's one more object in a little room near the southwest corner, so go there. Discover the note from the worker to enter a flashback as General Khazard. If it doesn't work, you either missed one of the objects or apparently you have to disable followers, but only try that if it doesn't let you continue. Speak to any of the Khazard guards. You now see 2 guards in front of you. Click on the one closer to you and finish that dialogue to start this puzzle. You can attempt to do this puzzle if you want, but right after this, I'm actually going to show you how to skip it. Click on the second guard in the back to move him. Right click either one of the guards and select reset puzzle, then option 1, reset to starting position. Right click either one of the guards again and select reset puzzle, then option 1, reset to starting position. You're going to do is one more time, right click either one of the guards and select reset puzzle, and you should now have option 2, skip this puzzle 2 attempts. If it didn't work, you may have to randomly move one of the guards with each attempt before resetting the puzzle. Continue the conversation, then select options 1 and 4. Go to the Grand Library in the Imperial District in Menethos. Enter Grand Library and select option 1, yes. Head a few steps south to find Adrasteia, speak to her, and then select options 2 and 1. Once in a new room, continue the conversation, but you can ignore chat options. There are imbued bones that you can click on and discover to the west, like the objects from earlier. It will be a little red dotting minimap in the corner. I'm pointing this out specifically because it may be hard to see at first. Discover the next closest object to north, which are the fragments of an obelisk. Touch the soul obelisk behind it to remove the barriers. Climb up the stairs on either side to the north. You actually have to click on the stairs to go up. Go to the last red dot in the middle and click on that to discover the magical residue. Continue the conversation and select option 1, travel to the soul altar. Once at the soul altar, continue the conversation, but you can ignore chat options. Just discover the scorch marks and the soul altar in this room. Then speak to Ka the kitten, who is considered the third object, and select option 1, travel to the library. Once in a new room, continue the conversation, but you can ignore chat options. Go to the closest red dot near the southeast corner. Discover the corruption. You might not be able to see this if your minimap isn't big enough, but there's another red dot closer to the southwest corner. I would recommend going to that one next. Just start running that way and you should be able to see it eventually. Discover the secret chamber. Go to the last red dot close to the middle of the library, but before you actually discover that, I'll highly suggest you do something first. Basically, what will happen is, right after you discover the last object, you get a flashback where you play as someone else and you'll get into a fight. It is a safe death as you'll be someone else in a flashback and not yourself, but still, you don't want to die or else you can't proceed with the quest. The fight isn't terribly difficult, but I wouldn't say it's easy either, especially if you're not prepared. The biggest problem is that they don't give you food and you can't bring your own. I would recommend setting up an ability bar for this before going in, as you would not be able to change certain things once you're in the flashback. You'll be given a single hand melee weapon and a shield, so I would recommend putting together an ability bar that accommodates that, and especially at the beginning of your ability bar, any abilities that heal you and block or reduce damage. The abilities I used were Guthix's Blessing, Sacrifice found under your Constitution abilities, as well as Resonance and Reflect found under your defense abilities. I set up the rest of my ability bar like any other melee setup, just put whatever as long as it works with a single-handed weapon. Trying to stay alive is more important here than maximizing your DPS in my opinion, but of course, it would be great if you can do both. Anyways, when you're ready, click on the third object to discover the living dead. If you have anything on you, you get a pop-up that says you must empty your backpack. Just click OK and you'll automatically get access to a deposit box. Deposit everything. Speak to Adrasteia again to continue to flashback in the fight. Speak to the Magister. As mentioned earlier, this is a safe death. If you die, you'll spawn right outside the city of Menaphos. Just return, enter a Grand Library. You get an option to continue the quest, select yes to get back here. Speak to the Magister after the fight. Once out of the flashback, continue the conversation, then select options 1 and 4. Go back to the throne room in Falador. Speak to Adrasteia here and select options 1 and 4. And yes, you really did have to come back here just to do that. Head to the mining site near the southeast corner of the wilderness. By the way, now would be the time to grab your teleport to get near there if you have one, or you could use the wilderness lodestone. I would also recommend a good pickaxe if you don't already have a good one in your tool belt. You should also bring a teleport to get near the wilderness levers in either Edgeville or East Arty, but lodestones will work just fine for that. You can also bring food and stuff if you don't feel safe going through the wilderness. Mine these Argonlike rocks until you get 28 Argonlike ores. They stack, by the way. After mining all 28, continue the conversation with Adrasteia and you can ignore the chat options. Go to ruins next to the wilderness crater. You can use the wilderness lodestone and run around. Use the furnace here to turn your ores into 28 bars. After smelting all 28, continue the conversation with Adrasteia and select option 4, let's continue our journey. Go to the lever in either Edgeville or East Arty. If you need to use a lodestone, you would need to run south until you reach level 20 or below Wilderness. Pulling this lever will teleport you deeper into the Wilderness. Head to the building west of the Mage Arena, but you may have to slash the web here first to get through. Just click on the web, you'll automatically use a knife from your tool belt. Smith on the anvil, finish the dialogue, and you'll automatically create everything you need. Speak to Adrasteia after you used up all 28 bars. Put on whatever you have left that you did not give to Adrasteia. Go east up the stairs towards the Mage Arena. Speak to Adrasteia the Forgotten. You once again need to empty your backpack. Do it the same way as last time. Just be sure to keep the armor and stuff you just made. I'm not even sure if they let you bank that, but the point is you need it. Anyways, once you deposit your stuff, speak to Adrasteia and select option 1. Yes, enter the Mage Arena. Speak to Vengeance and select option 3, 1, 3, 1. Fight through 3 waves of enemies. You just need to beat everyone. Don't worry, these guys are a lot easier than Magister, which kind of doesn't make sense because they also drop health orbs, which you can pick up to heal yourself if you need it for whatever reason. Discover the 4 objects around the arena, which just like before show up as red dots on your minimap. When you see the people, by the way, the option is eavesdrop, not discover. It might not let you do it if you're too close to them. In the flashback, head west and speak to Collodion. Continue the conversation with Adrasteia. Then click on the middle platform in between the two sets of stairs and select option 1. Yes, search the caves beneath the Mage Arena. In the cave, go a bit north to a bigger room. Inspect the modified ritual marker, ignore its options. In the southeast corner, take the rune pouch off the ground, which should be glowing. Search the rune pouch to receive 1 measly fire rune. Go towards the red downy minimap in the northeast corner where you'll find white dust. Attempt to take that in the menu that pops up. Choose the empty rune pouch. Head to the southwest corner of the room. Use the measly fire rune on the sharp rock to receive inert fire rune fragments and continue the conversation. Speak to Adrasteia and select option 2, show an item in your backpack to Adrasteia. Then in the menu, select the inert fire rune fragments. Click on the ritual marker to get another menu. In the menu, select the volatile fire rune fragments. Speak to Adrasteia again and select option 2 to show an item. In the menu, select pouch of white dust, the one in the game, not the one on your desk. Close out of the menu and go to the south end of the cave. Use a pouch of white dust in a sparkling pool to get a soggy pouch of gray paste. Go back to ritual marker. Click on the ritual marker in the menu, select the gray paste. Head to the south end of the cave. Step into a sparkling pool and select option 1, exit this cave and return to a deep wilderness. You can choose whether or not you want to turn on the audio once again. You get another cutscene which you can skip in game. If you want to skip in the video as well, I put up a time on screen. Continue the conversation after the cutscene and select option 3, say nothing. Speak to Adrasteia again and select the options 2, 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, or you can refer to what's written on screen. Once again, the options are 2, 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1. There will be a couple moments where you play as Moia and have to defeat some Forgotten Warriors. It's pretty easy as it is, but you can speed up a lot just by using the abilities at the top. The third ability is the best as it targets everyone around you, so I recommend using that as much as possible. The second one really only works good against a single enemy, but what choice do you really have if the third ability is on cooldown? But anyways, you have to defeat 10 of these Forgotten Warriors. You'll now have to defeat 20 Forgotten Warriors. After all the cutscenes and fighting and whatever, finish the conversation with Adrasteia, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for future videos to come if you haven't already. There are also links in the description below for my Patreon, donation link, Twitter and Discord where you can interact with me. Donations can also be made directly through YouTube now. Thanks option near like button below the video. Anyways, catch you later. Peace.